flexor stretches are a stretch that pretty much everybody should be doing these days, because we all tend to spend an awful lot of time sitting. Our hip flexors are switched on. They attach to the inside of the thigh, up through the pelvis, onto the front of the spine, and attach also onto the sides of the pelvis. So when they're tight, they tend to tilt us forwards when we're in an upright position, and then the body has to extend through the lower back. So you end up with a sway back and a lot of tightness through your lower back. If you can open out those hip flexors, straighten out through this angle, your lower back can fall into a much more comfortable neutral. So you can potentially avoid an awful lot of lower back pain, and improve your posture and get a bit taller in the process. So what you want to do, have your knee down on something soft, hand on something to keep yourself nice and stable, one leg out in front. Make sure it's far enough in front that you can see your foot. You don't want it back here, that will just destabilise you. So get yourself nice and neutral, not leaning forwards or backwards or sideways, nice and upright as though you were standing in a good posture. Crucial point here, and a lot of lunge stretches you see people not doing this, you need to switch your core muscles on. So if you imagine your pelvis like a bowl, you want to tilt the bowl towards you. This will bring your tailbone underneath you. Try to switch it on by pulling your belly button towards your spine. If you've ever done any Pilates, you'll be familiar with that concept of zipping up, switching those core muscles on. That puts your lower back into a slightly flexed or neutral position and keeps your pelvis nice and stable. From there, when you come forward, taking your knee over your toe, your upper body stays neutral, those muscles stay switched on, and you're opening out through this angle. So you're basically, from an angle like this, yep, my thumb won't do it, you're straightening out that angle. So you bring yourself forward, and that's far enough for me to actually feel that stretch deep through the front of my hip. If I switch those muscles off and go really floppy, I can go this far forward before I actually start to feel a stretch in here. And as you can see, my lower back is actually quite extended there already. So switch those muscles on and just come forward far enough. You'll feel the difference if they are switched on properly. Hold for half a dozen good deep breaths in and out. Come back. Swap sides. Same thing. Core muscles on, pelvis tilted. This side is tighter on me, so I actually find it harder. And then you come forward again and straight into that the stretch through the front of the hip. So it's really through the deep part of the hip that you want to be feeling the stretch. You probably will feel some through the quads. That's fairly normal as well. Make sure your foot is relaxed down flat and your leg is as relaxed as possible. But if there is tightness there, you will tend to feel a little bit of that to begin with. So 2 or 3 times per side, half a dozen deep breaths in and out each time. Preferably once you've warmed up a little bit in the morning. I wouldn't do it straight out of bed in the morning, but if you keep it to around about a 7 out of 10 stretch, you can't do yourself too much grief with that particular stretch. That's it.